Hello everybody, welcome to August Favourites. A little bit messy behind me. I still haven't really sorted out my office properly. Those are my shelves. And I'm not sure that I really want those in the background permanently. I don't know what to do really. I'm really at a loss. There are lots of options in here. So many options in fact, but I'm actually just sat on the floor on a rug with a load of mess behind me. But I want to start off by talking about the Chanel longwear polishes. I don't know whether you know they've brought out this longwear version of their nail varnishes. Their nail varnishes have got typically quite bad formulas that don't last very well. They chip, they fade around the edges, but really beautiful colours. And so they've introduced this longwear formula. Now I have to say that it does last a lot longer than the normal Chanel nail polish. So if you're into their really beautiful colours that they bring out, but you were sick of the longevity, then really worth a try. I'm not sure that they still are as good as some of the others out there on the market that last for a week or more. But you know, as I said, if you're into that, they've always brought out really brilliant colours every season. So if you're into those, then good news. Had a little bit of a rekindled love affair with the Rosehip Bio Regenerate oil from Pi Skincare. If you watched my vlog, you'll know that they did a facial on me when I was at the Limewood Hotel, and I'm going to write about that on my blog this week. I used to use this all the time, this oil. It's brilliant for just really getting your skin back on track. So, I mean, they say it's great for things like scarring and if you suffer from acne and if you've got any sort of unevenness and just general bleh to your skin, then it's a really good one for getting the glow back. I think that it's really nice because it's just very pure. So if you're just looking for something this will kind of reboost your skin, but you want it to be very simple, then this is a really good option. I think that it's 22 or 23 pounds for a bottle. But yeah, also if you've got very sensitive skin or it reacts badly to a lot of product ranges, then they're a really good one to try out. So I've been using that again, really like it. Just very simple, you can put it on before your moisturiser or instead of moisturiser, after your serum. But sometimes I just put it on its own. So that's good. Oh, very excited about this. People are going to get a little bit sick of me banging on, but I go on ASOS all the time. I probably order something from ASOS about once a week. Lots of it goes back, but I hate going to actual physical shops and going in the changing rooms. So for me, I'd rather just order loads of stuff. And even if it keeps having to go back, at least at some point I'll get something that I like. So yeah, it's like an ongoing thing with ASOS. ASOS are now stocking my Collab Sheer and Invisible dry shampoo, which is mega news because they're huge. And I'm so pleased. I was so excited when I saw it on there. So this is my original dry shampoo, which doesn't leave a residue. So it works, if you don't know how dry shampoo works, it sort of absorbs grease in the roots of your hair. And then what I actually use it rather than, I mean, some people say it's instead of washing your hair. It is great in between washes, but I wouldn't sort of use it for days and days and not wash your hair. I find that it's better if you've got sort of fine hair and flat roots and they just get greasy really easily. It's a really nice root boost, and even if you haven't got greasy roots, it sort of clings to any oil that's on there and seems to just sort of make the roots bigger, if you know what I mean. So that's what I use it for mostly, but I have been known to use this on day 3 hair. But I don't really wash my hair that often anyway. So for me it's great because my ends are really dry, but my roots get oily quite quickly. So it's kind of my perfect product really, hence why it's mine. If you've been a very long-term reader of A Model Recommends, you'll know that one of the first products that I really raved about was the Sisley Eye Contour Mask. And that was because backstage, on photo shoots, makeup artists always used to slather this on under the eyes just to make them look less puffy, less liney, and just more awake, especially if you'd been sort of hammering it going out and you looked rough. This would go on. Now it's a sort of thick gel that turns into this, it feels a bit like, you know those jelly masks that you get and you stick them on and they're sort of a teardrop shape? It goes into that without having to stick one of those on, if that makes any sense. So it's very, very expensive, but actually, because you only use a little bit at a time, it works out to be not too bad. It's a proper makeup bag emergency sort of lifesaver. The only thing about it is that you have to sort of remove it properly if you're going to be wearing makeup, because makeup just will not sit on top of this. I think that it says tissue off, or that might be the other mask, the main mask that they do. But it's just so slidey and so thick that you can't get anything to sit on the top. So you sort of have to, I really have to cleanse it off and then re-moisturise. It still does its job, but it's sort of better if you're going to be on a plane or using it overnight. Now, I found a little solution, and this is brilliant, and a fraction of the price. This is the Eye Duty Triple Remedy AM Gel Cream, and this is from First Aid Beauty. I'm really getting into First Aid Beauty. Some of the things I haven't been that impressed with, or just they haven't, you know, rocked my world. But quite a few products I've thought, you know what, that's brilliant. It's a brilliant little, inexpensive, slots into a little skincare niche really well type product. So this has sort of that feel of the thick gel mask that the Sisley one has, but it doesn't leave such a massively thick residue on the skin, so you don't need to tissue it off. It is massively, massively hydrating and depuffing and just everything. And I really, really rate it. It's sort of slidey to put makeup on over the top. You have to use it a little bit before you're going to put your concealer on or anything like that. But, you know, just experiment with it. It's not the end of the world if you end up using it as a treat thing on days off when you're not wearing makeup. But I find that it's fine. I think that it sort of preps the skin really well. So I shall put a link to that below. Really, really impressed. This took me by surprise, the James Reid Gradual Tan H2O Tan Mist. Now, I sort of got the impression from the blurb on the box that this was a face spray and you could just keep on spritzing whenever you felt like a spritz, and you know, it would just give you the most gentle tan known to man. But actually, one go with this and my face was quite brown. Not ridiculous, and this is a good thing. It was sort of, I've had a weekend in the south of France, sort of tanned, which is perfect. But thank God I hadn't been sitting there at my desk all day spritzing, because that would have been fun. So yeah, this is great. I found that it was a really nice even colour. It was easy to apply because I just went and that was done. No smell. Just really liked this, found it refreshing to apply, but you know, as I said, you wouldn't want to sit there applying it all day long. So yeah, very impressed. I like that, James Reid, well done. Little special mention to Amazon in this month's favourites, because read my blog post on this. In fact, I'm just going to put a link to my blog post. Basically, my dog ate my earplugs at 11 PM. I ordered these off Amazon at 11:30 PM. At 9:30 AM the next morning on a Sunday, the doorbell rang and it was Amazon with my earplugs. The dog hadn't even been to the toilet yet, which means that they delivered this faster than my dog could process them in his digestive tract. Really impressed. Link to the post is below. Can't get enough of this. This is the number 7 Essentially Natural Foundation. Really fresh, really dewy. Light to medium coverage. I talked about it in my High Street Foundations with a Broader Shade range, but I just wanted to mention it again because I like this a lot. I think it's great. Well done, Boots. Number 7. And a little surprise foundation, actually. I thought that I would hate this because I'm not really into these whole cushion things. This is the Lancôme Teinte Idole Ultra Cushion. And I thought this gave very, very lovely, dewy, soft, bouncy, heavy coverage. So if you want a full coverage in a cushion, I'm still not convinced by this cushion thing. I don't like having to use these pads. They get on my nerves. I don't know how hygienic it is. I don't know whether the whole thing's just a bit of a swizz and everyone's jumped on the bandwagon. However, the actual texture and effect of this foundation I love, and I've been using it just pressing a sort of stipply kabuki foundation brush into the product and then onto my face, and it's worked beautifully. I will do a blog post on this with my usual close-up before and after pictures so you can see right into the pores, into my very soul. One last thing. This is an old one, but it's brilliant. I get this weird sore patch on my chin. I think it's hormonal. And sometimes I get the same thing sort of on my forehead. I don't think that it's eczema. I don't know what it is, but it's just goes very red and raw. And if I'm ever stupid enough to put any sort of exfoliating acid or anything like that on it, it just flares and it's so painful. I like to think of it as my sort of adult equivalent of a baby's nappy rash cream or something. Like an SOS cream, but for the face. This is roche-posay. Is it Cicaplast? Cicaplast? Balm B5. And I used a version of this many, many years ago before it was called B5, and it was brilliant then. I think it's even better now. It says antibacterial agents as well. I don't know. It's nice. And it really calms down any flare-ups that I get in that area or that area. Sometimes I use it as an all-over sort of moisturiser. Just realised that the lighting is going to be very, very funny on my face. I need to get this office sorted, so apologies if I look weird. I'm going to go now because I'm going to go out for lunch, and also I have no feeling in my right leg, which I've had tucked underneath me for the entirety of this filming. And there's a dead beetle to the right of me, which is in the carpet, which I flicked from my dress, so I need to make sure I put that in the bin. Hope you enjoyed this. Make sure that you like and subscribe and go on over to my website if you get a chance. That's linked to you below, and I shall see you next time.